In this video we're going to go ahead and use the alter table command to actually modify my table structure. And you'll see here if I type in the describe command, which we've already gone ahead and done a video on, describe and then the name of the table that I want to work with. So we're going to use books to run. I may want to change something in the actual structure itself. And so if we take a look at what we've got here, you can see that I've got a couple of these different fields. If I wanted to change the length of maybe my ISBN 10, because now I want to include dashes, so maybe I want the length to be 13. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and type in the command here to alter our table. So we just basically type in alter table and then the name of the table I want to alter. And in this case it's going to be the books table. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and now the keyword I want to use here is modify. So we're going to actually modify some of the existing table, and so, or a field within the existing table. So I'm going to say modify ISBN underscore 10, and that's going to be for the ISBN 10 column. And now I'm going to type in what I actually want to modify. And so what I want to change on this one here is I want it to be the varchar, and this time I want it to be, instead of 10 in length, let's just say I want it to be 13 in length. I can go ahead and make that change right now. And if I wanted to change something else, like make it a primary key, or I wanted to make it so that it does not accept null values, I could type that in as well. I'm going to do that separately. However, I could have just hit space bar and then just typed in primary key or typed in not null, and it would have made those values, but I'm going to do them a little separate. So I'm going to go ahead and end that with a semicolon just so that we can see how this works, and I'll hit run, and it looks like I've got an invalid character. What did I do here? Let's see. I see what I did wrong. I spelled ISBN wrong. Let's see, ISBN. So sometimes you got to be careful about the way you spell things. It's got to be pretty precise here. Now I'll hit run again, and there it says table was altered. So I'm going to go ahead and now run the describe books and then hit run again, and you'll see that the length of my varchar length here is going to be now 13. So let's go ahead and make one more change to this, the ISBN 10. I'm going to go ahead and do the alter table command one more time. We're going to say modify, and we're going to type in the field that I want to modify, which is going to be ISBN 10. This time I'm going to go ahead and say I don't want to mess with anything with the data type, so I'm just going to go ahead and add to this the not null. Now what not null means is that it's going to take this check mark away, and it means that my table, whenever I enter data in, it has to have a value in there for it to be accepted. And so for ISBN 10, it makes sense for us to have an ISBN number entered in whenever we put a new book into our database. So we're going to make it so that it has to be required to be entered in. So if I go ahead and hit run now, you're going to see it says, let's see, invalid table name. Oops, I didn't type in the table. So let's go ahead and put books, and I'll hit, there we go, table altered. So now let's go ahead and take a quick look at it just to make sure it worked. Describe table, alright, describe books, there we go. Hit run, and you'll see now that the check mark has been removed, and so basically it means that I have to have a value in there in order for this field to be accepted or updated whenever I update my record. So I've done that. Now I want to do this again, but I want to do this to the ISBN 13 because I know I'm going to have a problem, and I'll show you what I mean when I say I have a problem. Let's just run the select all from books, and I'm going to show you this. The ISBN 10s, we had already put field values in for every single one of those, but look, when I entered a record in here for this record right here, there's a null value in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to change the ISBN 13 to be not a nullable field, or not null, meaning they have to have something in here whenever we enter in. And let's just see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the alter table, and the table's name is books. And we're going to say modify, and this is going to be ISBN 13. And I'm going to go ahead and say not null, and we should get an error here. I just want to show you, if I hit run, I've got an error. Here it is. It says cannot enable, and it says null values were found, meaning there was a blank space. So if you ever get this error, this just refers to the fact that, hey, you can't modify your table to say that it has to have a value because there's already records into my table that don't have a value in this particular one. So if you ever get that, that's what the problem is, and you have to double check some of your records just to make sure that when you make the change, you're not going to end up doing something that's already violating the data you've already entered in there. And so this allows us to make these changes using the alter table and modify an existing field that we've got already in our table if we need to basically make a change to it.